Peptides are derived from amino acids. And so since amino acids are natural, then peptides are natural, right? Wrong! Coach Greg, in today's video, we're going over Jason Pasta's video. He claims that peptides are 100% natural. He goes into detail about MK677, and he begins the video by saying, steroids are natural, let me explain.
Steroids are natural. Let me explain.
And so as a public service announcement, I'm going to go over video and tell you whether I agree or disagree. Now, remember, some of you think I have no right to do this. How can you ever talk about somebody else's opinion? Well, it's called freedom of speech. I have the right to tell you what I think. He has the right to tell you what he thinks. He thinks that anything you take other than steroids is 100% natural. That are his feelings. I am going to tell you a different point of view. And so you watch the video and you decide for yourself. Do you believe that Jason Pasta's theories are correct? Or do you believe that mine are? You at least need to know the research and know that if you take some of these items, you are in fact going to fail a drug test. And so if you're saying, oh, I watched Jason Pasta's video, I'm going to take MK677. I'm 100% natural because I watched his video. And you go to the Olympics and you fail a drug test for taking MK677, you're going to be like, what happened?
Whatever the issue you might be having in life, there's most likely a peptide that can help you. So no. Steroids are definitely not natural.
He's just starting the video in a controversial way to get you to watch the video. Nothing wrong with that. At the end of the video, he says, no, steroids are not natural. And so please understand, just because he starts the video by saying steroids are natural, let me explain, doesn't mean that he thinks that they're natural. But there's always the but. What is he going to say next?
Peptides, which are often compared to steroids, are completely different than a synthetic steroid.
Peptides, in my mind, I've never seen them being compared to steroids. Steroids have anabolic androgenic side effects. They can build a ton of muscle. We know that you can take them orally, that you can inject them. Guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger and every Mr. Olympia title holder that's ever existed has taken them, but not as many people talk about peptides.
Peptides are comprised and created from amino acids, which is a natural form. You can still keep your Natty card.
Peptides are derived from amino acids. And so since amino acids are natural, then peptides are natural, right? Wrong! It doesn't work like that. Just because something is natural, just because it came from something natural, doesn't mean it's natural in its final form. And so imagine this, just because it's made of amino acids, you're saying it natural. Do you know what also is made from peptides that is very dangerous, in fact can be lethal? Insulin. Hey everyone, insulin is natural. We should all take insulin. Only thing is, you start taking insulin, you take the wrong amount, and you end up dead. And so just because it's natural, as in comes from amino acids, doesn't mean it's safe, doesn't mean that it should be considered natty.
There's a lot of different functions for peptides, from hair, muscle gain, fat loss, anxiety.
Now remember, certain HRT clinics, and I don't know what Transcend sells, I don't know what they don't sell, but some companies, they actually sell Sarms that are not approved for human consumption. If something is not approved for humans and a doctor prescribes it, should they in fact be allowed to practice medicine? Think of it. It's not allowed to be used by humans. Hey, I want you to use this. It's a doctor. Doctors should not be telling their patients to take things that are experimental, that aren't approved, that are perhaps dangerous. And so something like LGD 4033, which is not approved for human consumption, if a doctor were to prescribe that, well, I think that you should go to a different doctor, at least get a second opinion. Because let me tell you right now, very dangerous, especially in females. Have seen it literally change females' voices, more than one, and not even at high doses. And so if it can change a female's voice to that of a man, perhaps you get that raspy feeling, you're starting to feel sick. Do you really think that you should be using that? And so many coaches, they're prescribing LGD to their clients. Perhaps they compete in figure, bodybuilding, bikini, and so on. And if you begin to get certain side effects, you should stop taking it. No, you can't just keep taking it till the competition. If you do that, the change is most likely going to be permanent. And so if you have a doctor prescribing these things, please be careful. And so let me be clear. If anyone is taking a SARM of any kind, I don't care if it's Ostarine, LGD 4033, RAD 140, any SARM, It is not natural. If you have taken a SARM, your Natty Stamens is revoked. Access revoked. You can no longer compete in a drug-tested competition. But what about MK677? That is a growth hormone secretagogue. It's not actually a SARM.
MK677 can help you increase your IGF-1 levels, decrease your body fat percentage, improve your endurance, and also reverse nitrogen wasting.
And you know what else MK677 can do? I know that because I've taken it a number of times and coached hundreds of people who've also taken it. It can make you very hungry. So hungry that when I'm coaching people for a competition, I make people stop taking it. And so he says, hey, MK can help you lose body fat. Yeah, if you can control your cravings, if you don't eat more. But do you know what MK does? It makes you hungrier. We use it to bulk. It helps you to eat more food. And so if you're taking MK thinking, yeah, I really want to lose body fat, I heard him say that MK helps you drop body fat. In most people, it does the opposite. Not only that, it makes you hold a lot of water. You look bloated. Perhaps you get a moon face. You look puffy. And so if you're saying, oh, I'm on that MK, going to get shredded, it's most likely going to do the exact opposite. Not only that, it makes you very, very fatigued. You're tired. Throughout the day, you're going for naps. You have less energy. And so remember, I've used this. Do I have any reason to lie? Would I tell you of negative side effects if they didn't exist? I'm telling you from my own experience and for those that I've coached. If you're taking MK677 and you're doing it to cut, I would highly advise against it. If you're doing it to bulk, to put on weight, perhaps you want to put on 20 pounds, you're never hungry, you want to eat more, well, it might in fact work. Now, at least MK677, it is approved for human consumption. I'm not saying it's safe. I'm not saying it doesn't come with any negative side effects. I'm not saying that they should prescribe it, but at least they are allowed to prescribe it. Big difference. SARMs, you are not allowed to prescribe SARMs. You can't go to the doctor and say, I want LGD. I want Ostreit. They should not be prescribing it.
So no, steroids are definitely not natural, but peptides are.
And so why is he saying that no, steroids are natural, but peptides are, while holding a bottle of MK? MK677, it's not a peptide. We need to not confuse the two. I'm not sure if he did a good enough job to make people understand that MK is not a peptide, that LGD or other SARMs are not peptides, that they're SARMs, and that peptides are peptides. The video is very short and concise, very difficult to explain things in enough detail. And do peptides actually work? Yes, several of them do. A few known as the Wolverine stack, for example, TB500 and BPC157. I've personally used this. You inject this at the site of injury and it helps you heal faster than last time. Should those in fact be banned by WADA? I don't know. But if you are in fact using it, WADA says you're not allowed. Remember, WADA is a drug testing organization. They, for example, are used in the Olympics. They have something known as fair play. They want sport to be fair amongst all the competitors. And so if they allowed everyone to just take anything and everything, well, some people would be at a huge advantage over their opponents. And so they want to keep safety in mind. They ban certain things that are deemed unsafe or that give people too big of an advantage. And so peptides, that is one of them. And so according to WADA, according to drug-tested organizations, you can't just use all of these peptides. If you're using IGF-1, IGF-2, IGF-DES, a list of peptides, you will fail the drug test and be deemed a cheater. And so, do you want this? Now, should they in fact ban these peptides? I don't know. That is not for me to decide. That is a very difficult task. Is BPC157, TB500 something that I think they should ban? I personally don't think so. But that's just my opinion. You might think, of course not. They're peptides. They give you an advantage. You heal faster. I'm thinking, why shouldn't we be allowed to heal faster? And so, just because I'm saying something or Jason Poston's saying something doesn't mean that you have to agree with us. You can have your own opinion. I can have mine. We can agree to disagree. And you know what else? Weed was also illegal. If you smoked weed, you sold it, you could go to jail. It's bad. You're a bad person for smoking weed. Only thing is, several years ago, they got rid of that law. They said it's legal. And so in Canada, where I'm from, you can smoke as much weed as you like. After all, what's really worse? Alcohol or weed? Oh, and how about this one? Remember caffeine? Caffeine is a drug. It's a stimulant, but it occurs naturally in nature. And so years ago, 25 years ago, it was banned in the Olympics, banned in drug sporting competition. The only thing is they got rid of that ban. They said, no, caffeine is legal. And so depending on what year you trained in, if it was in the year 2000, if you drank too much coffee, you were not natty. But now you can have as much caffeine as you want, and you're in fact natural. And so the reality of all this is when Whether you feel you're natural or not depends on your own opinion. Me personally, I think if you consume caffeine, you smoke marijuana, you do PBC 157, you're all natty. Other people, according to WADA, nope, you do peptides or not. And so in the end, it's up to you. But if you're competing in drug-tested sporting competition and you take peptides, MK677, Sarms, you're going to fail the test. And so according to drug-tested sporting competition, you're not natty. You can also argue and say, you're on creatine, you're on Turk Builder, you're on Ecti Builder. That's not natural. You're using Ecti steroids from plants and you're using them in high doses. That is not natural. It is up to you. Now, if you're interested in staying natural and getting in a drug-tested sporting competition and not failing a test, consider taking Ecti Builder, Turk Builder, GO2 Max. And of course, you can go to Transcend, take all the peptides, all the MK you want. But remember, if you do a drug test and you fail, don't complain to me. You can complain to Transcend, but please don't come to me. Now, if Transcend complains about this video, they should remember, I said their name how many times? How many people do you think are actually going to go to them to purchase some of their products? I'm just telling you the facts. The facts are MK is a banned performance-enhancing drugs. If you watch Jason Paus's video and you think MK is natural because he was saying, hey, peptides are natural and he didn't say anything about MK, well, that's on you. And so perhaps I'll get a bunch of backlash. Oh my goodness, I hate Coach Greg. He makes videos talking about other people. I'm just telling you what I think. And even Stephanie Buttermore recently posted. She understands why I make these videos. She says I give my opinion. I tell you what I think. She understands why people enjoy that. And so I'm not trying to shit on anybody. I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm just giving you the facts. I'm giving you my opinion. Hope you learned something, ending it here. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Don't forget to like the video if you in fact liked it. And of course, watch one of those two videos. And if you want to get coaching plans by me and my team or phone consults, you can get me on the website. Also, the cookbooks, the training books, the Circle Dive books. You can get the free diet and training program. It's close to 50 pages, several of them. And please become one of the 300,000 plus newsletter subscribers. And until next time, follow me for more tips.